Yoga provides holistic solutions to the common problems. Yoga creates the balance between needs, demands, and the expectations, and imparts discipline of self-control, thereby helping us to face the challenges appearing in our day-to-day life. Let's have expert advice by the experts in the panel discussion on the topic Yoga, Solution to the Challenges of Life. Our next guest is Marisa Tanuri. Born in South Africa in the Karoo, Marisa has been living on the islands of Zanzibar since 2003. She fell in love with the island's ambience, color, turquoise blue ocean, simplicity of lifestyle, its people and sunsets. Marisa Tanuri is the founder of Yoga Zanzibar, the one and the only yoga alternative in Zanzibar, offering yoga retreats throughout the year since 2009. Marisa is an experienced registered yoga teacher with the Worldwide Yoga Alliance. She teaches dynamic hatha based on Ashtanga, Vinyasa, flow and Kundalini yoga, bringing awareness into the mindfulness and energy flow. Marisa has been practicing yoga for over 11 years. She also teaches the art and science of yoga, 200 hours teaching training program certifying yoga teachers. Marisa's vision is to be of service to others through sharing the tools of yoga with her teachings. She's passionate about life, yoga, traveling, the ocean, dancing, playing drums, and painting. She's also the co-founder of Divine Diving Yoga and Dive Scent. Panel, we also have with us Ms. Ajit Kaur, also known as Ms. Akiko Suzuki. She was born and raised in Hiroshima, Japan, and always been interested in how to make a peaceful world since she was young. Seeking her own peace of mind, she started Kundalini Yoga. In 1990, she participated in the world's largest Kundalini Yoga festival, Summer Solstice Sadhana. Ajit is 500 hours KRI internationally certified Kundalini Yoga teacher and professional teacher trainer. Her mischievous teaching training style is welcomed all over the world, including China, Taiwan, Indonesia, and the USA. Ajit loves witnessing people transforming, experiencing their own beauty and peace via the practice of Kundalini Yoga. She has translated and published Kundalini Yoga from English to Japanese by Sakata Kaur. Ajit is also a gifted drawing illustrator and highly skilled at playing her handmade healing harp. Our next panelist, whose Buddhist name is Tejavaro Thevo, Malaysian by origin of Indian heritage. He started learning Buddhism at 7 years of age in 1991. At 15 years of age, he becomes Shiva Nair in Malaysia. He became a bhikshu in Thailand when he was 20 years of age. In 1997, he went to Taiwan to learn Mahayana Buddhism and studied Chinese at National Sun Yat-sen University. He completed his bachelor's degree in anthropology at Marylhurst University, USA in 2008. He holds a master's degree in yoga from Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya in Haridwar, India. Most recently, he completed his PhD in yoga and the Buddhist tradition in 2017 at Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow, India. Currently, he is preparing for the postdoctoral program at National Cheng Kung University, Tainan, Taiwan. In addition, he gives lectures on Ayurveda and yoga at National Sun Yat-sen University and also serves as vice abbot for the Golden Mountain Temple. Today in the panel we have with us Dr. Shiva Nair, who is an uro-oncologist in Hamilton, New Zealand. He is the clinical director for the urology department at Waikato Hospital. He has travelled across multiple cities and countries for his training. He has his publication on cancer and non-cancer topics. He has previously tutored at University of Otago and University of Auckland Medical School and remained active in teaching and training his students and residents. Dr. Nair remains ardent student of Vedanta. He was taught Guru Parampara by the Chinmay Mission and currently he is studying several texts including Upanishad. He is active in Hindu Swamsevak Sangh in New Zealand at the local level. His primary goal is to understand the self-knowledge and spread it to as many as possible. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobur, Convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tomar is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Thank you, our wonderful guest today. We acknowledge your presence, Marisa ji. We acknowledge your presence, Tejavro ji. We acknowledge your presence, Akiko ji, and Dr. Shiva Nair ji. We also acknowledge and respect presence of all our audience watching us from different parts of the world and will be watching us. Friends, the topic of our panel discussion today is yoga and solving the challenges of life. Life is full of challenges. As they say that once a person asked that I need permanent peace in life, somebody directed him towards the graveyard. He said, this is the only place where you'll find permanent peace. But yoga said, there is another way also. You don't need to necessarily go to graveyard to have peace. You can have peace while you are living also. So let's try to identify what is the ways and means to deal with the challenges of life, yogic way. So we have Marisa with us. Marisa, you have been practicing and teaching yoga. What do you think are the major challenges? Many people come to you to learn yoga. What are the major challenges people face? And what are the major challenges in our times?
Thank you, Dr. Vikrant. I think on a personal level, personal challenges for people are a sense of maybe discontent, struggling to find this connection with themselves and what they really want in life, what encourages them, what they really want to do, like following the courage to follow their dreams. So I think this is a personal challenge. Then, of course, there's many world challenges like materialism, pollution, all these challenges.
Mm-hmm. So Marisa mentioned that people who come to her, they generally find some bit of, many of them have discontent with the life, searching their own means of life, purpose of life. Some people are affected by materialism and maybe global issues of pollution. Let's ask Tejavaroji from Taiwan. What are the major challenges people are facing in their lives in our times? You may need to unmute. Your voice is not coming. Okay, till you fix, let me ask Akiko-ji the same question. Akiko-ji, what
Yes,
are the major challenges?
There is so many challenges, but I think all those challenges has a few roots, like disturbing the one to live as their true identity, and most of the time that was really affected, like health, money, and relationship.
Can you mention again? Dr. Tejavaroji, can you please mute
Yeah.
till you speak? Your voice is clear. Can you mute? Thank you very much. Yes, Akiko-ji. What were the 3 points you mentioned?
Like health,
Money,
and relationship with others. Or, if I say, it can be love.
It can be?
Love, Love.
Perfect. Thank you. So we got a couple of points to discuss that major challenges people are facing today are related to money, related to relationships, related to finding out their own purpose of life. So let me come to Tejavaruji. How yoga can contribute in dealing or finding solutions to these challenges that people face?
Thank you, sir. Yoga already contributed like 1,000 years ago through explaining Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Jnana Yoga. All those information are deeply explained and well versed. So now, in the present days, we should uh, learn and read and listen and participate. Through this, we can learn more about how yoga contributed for the humanity. The most important thing is human is enjoying their life, and the problem is when end of the time we get nervous, we are not ready to face the reality. So yoga is about previous life and now and the future. It explains beautifully if one could understand and read and practice them while they are healthy, and when their mind and health are contributing its energy. So this is the best time for us to understand.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Shivaji, you are doctor by practice also and profession also. Uh, and you have learned Vedanta. So when people are searching for their meaning of life, purpose of life, certainly when you must have done your MBBS, MD, so you must be having something else, and once you came exposed to Vedanta, you must have found something higher purpose in life. So can you help us to understand how yoga can contribute in finding the true purpose of life?
Hariom, I'm going to reiterate what Dr. Theroji said pretty clearly. Nothing has changed. Actually, the sources of distress for a person hasn't changed for thousands of years. All that's changed is whether it was money then and money now and gold years ago, or before that was whatever you're trading with. Nothing has changed. Our scriptures have really researched and found many types of yoga. Yoga means to join, and what we want to join is to our internal happiness, our atman, or peace, and that is what is described. Now, the secular world, or this world of medicine, is very perception based, and it is yet to come that far ahead as the scriptures have. And our rishis and sages from thousands of years did so much more subjective research on their own self that the Western medicine has yet to come. The Western medicine is very, very young in its sciences and approaches, and it's very much based on perception. What you see is what you believe, whereas the rishis and the scriptures are based on what you believe is what you will see. So it's a little bit different.
Thank you. So Dr. Nair mentioned that the problems are the same. There has been three struggles, as they say: struggle of man versus man, struggle of man versus within, and struggle of man versus nature. So these three struggles were always there. Maybe names and forms of this struggle must have changed. So Dr. Nair mentioned that medicine today is perceptual and experiment based, but meditation and yogic sciences are experimental and experience based both. So, Marisa ji, you mentioned about people coming with discontent. So, how you take yoga as an instrument and tool to convert their discontent into satisfaction? How yoga can help people with discontent to be peaceful in life?
I think to understand how yoga can help us with challenges in life, and actually the power of yoga, we we can look at the first few sutras of Patanjali, where he so beautifully describes it, and he says, Yoga Chati Frita Nirda. So, which basically means yoga is to still or to calm the patterns of the mind so that we can stand in our true essence. So what it means in practical terms is basically that all these chatter and busyness of the mind, it is distracting us to realize who we truly are. The chitta or the mind is it's being formed and influenced by all our experiences that we have, maybe traumas or memories. It leaves impressions on the heart-mind field of our consciousness. So by practicing the tools and techniques of yoga, it starts to allow us to perceive life how it truly and accurately is, instead of maybe through our distorted perception of ourself and life and events. So this is the true power of yoga, I would say. So then by starting to practice the techniques, this transformation starts to unfold and happen by itself. It's a very gradual process, but it's not a quick fix, but it is a lasting process, I would say.
Perfect. Marisa ji said that mind chatters a lot, and Yoga Sutra says that yoga is settling the mind, removing the modifications. People get so many traumas, difficult memories stored in their subconscious. And she says that through yogic practices, they develop the right perception to see the same incidences. As Buddhists call it, Vishesha Pashyana, seeing it from a different perspective specifically, and that transforms them from within. That's amazing, Marisaji. Now, let me ask Tejavroji that you mentioned that Raj Yoga helps you to live and even leave peacefully, because we have been incarnated many times before also. So can you because the fear of death is also one of the big fears. So you mentioned about many incarnations, some of the religions believe in it, some of the religions doesn't believe in it. So how can yoga contribute in eliminating this fear of death also? Abhinivesha, the fear of losing the life itself. How can yoga contribute in that?
I would say, like, to understand the nature and oneself. So without a proper understanding, it is very hard. It's really, really hard to remove the attachment, because the main problem and main cause is the fear comes is attachment, because we want to leave, we are not ready to leave. So it's so once we understand the reality, so yoga already contributed, like how we comes, and the leaves, it's appear, and it goes away naturally. So everything is comes and goes, like sunrise and sunset. And it's about understanding and acceptance, and then let it go. So through the teachings, the yama niyamas and then the pratyaharas, so we withdrawn all the senses inward, and we understand through the dharana, dhyana. And when it comes like dharana, we just concentrate the reality and the nature. And dhyana, we think deeply over and over again and over again. Then when it comes to the samadhi state, and you one with the nature. So this is how I would say the yoga contributed to us, and then we need to accept that, accept the reality. It, within a lay people or a monks, if you don't accept the reality, we still have that fear and
So
attachment.
monks don't fear death, is it?
It doesn't mean that monks is a practice, it's ing process, it's ing. Even honestly, I would say that like last year, when the COVID time, so it's very heavy in Taiwan. And then one of my student get COVID, and then I need to be in the room. And then suddenly, the moment I have the fear of death, because I'm not ready to leave my classes, my commitments, the temple and the students and all that. And for 5 days, at least 5 days, and I have that, okay, it's my time, and then I read, and then whatever I've read in my life, whatever, I just try to practice. That is the moment I felt like education, the knowledge is in the memory.
Okay.
When you practice, then it becomes wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you. So here we had Tejavaraji who mentioned that it reminds me of Swami Vivekananda when Rockefeller, the richest person of that time, asked Swamiji that I am living very peacefully. What can you teach? Swamiji smiled and replied, I can teach you how to live equally peacefully. So that's nice. And Tejavaraji mentioned that yes, monks even are in the process of understanding. And then once that truth is understood, then there is no fear of death even. But Akikoji, death happens once. But in relationship, many times relationship dies. There is heartbreaks. And it really is a big challenge of life. You mentioned relationships and love issues are the major challenges people are facing, and they are one of the major reasons of mental traumas also. How yoga can contribute in dealing with such heartbreaks, such relationship issues?
Yeah, it's a big problem, big trauma. Yeah, and it is like the monk said, uh, it's an attachment. Yeah, it's really an attachment issue also. But yoga can help clean up and clear out your subconsciousness, your consciousness. Is that truly you attached your ex wife, ex husband, or ex boyfriend or girlfriend, or you are attaching some part of yourself and practicing yoga in a very different forms. That is like cleaning out your bathroom or your, some little room. And each day of little practice makes a difference. Like if you clean your room every day, you can keep your room clean. And like that, even the issue or the big trauma, you can clear out, or you're really doing this ing process and experiencing the power of yoga.
Thank you. Understanding this, that yoga helps you to remove the attachments and does inner cleansing. Dr. Shiva Nair, a life without attachment, is it worth living? Because if I am not attached to my kids, I am not attached to the family members, they will feel that what is the use of such a relation if you are not attached? And they complain that you are so selfish that you are not attached with anybody. When I am crying, how can you laugh?
It's interesting. So it is not the attachment in a wrong way. So that's what you need to understand. It's our relationship. So first, you need the viveka. You need to know what is real, what is not real. Atman is real, and the happiness comes from inside. Being detached in a wrong way is boring. That's not what the rishis prescribed. They prescribed correct vairagya from your good viveka. And raga, as Akikoji just said, is cause of the satvikaras, as Krishna ji mentions in Bhagavad Gita, right? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsarya, and Mada. Like the 6 deficiencies of the mind comes from wrongful attachment. We need to know what our role is first. And if I'm a father, my role is to care for the children. But I should not expect the children to care for me when I'm older. That's the right relationship. If I'm in a husband-wife relationship, I need to care for the wife as a husband and love and cherish the woman. But if she dies or something happens, she leaves, I should not be attached to the result of of my actions. In a way, practicing karma yoga, so it's not detachment just because you want to, we're not supposed to go and sit in a under a banyan tree in Himalayas. That's not the what rishis had meant. We need to be functioning in this life, in this society, and knowing what is real, what is our role, and why we're here. We're here for the spiritual journey, and in the process, we need to do our best for the society.
Thank you. So, Dr. Nair mentioned that care without expectations is the right way of de-attaching, understanding what is real, what is not real, and then that creates vairagya. And through karma yoga, you can do. Marisa, people must have come to you, and I have met people who like when other people feels possessive about them, and this is how they define love in relationship. But if I don't feel possessive about somebody, they will feel that that person doesn't love me enough. So how do you deal with such things? Because when vairagya says that you care without any expectations, is that all that easy? So my first question is not expecting, is that easy? When we do something, wherever our energy is put, we start expecting. So is it that easy, not expecting? How do you deal with these things?
This is a very good question, Dr. Vikrant. I think we all struggle with that at times, probably. As I see, look at it as a continuous practice to become aware of ourselves. So it takes a lot of self-study, a lot of swadhyaya, to go inwards and to be aware, to see when our samskaras is playing out, or our patterns and habits. And it's easy to project on the other person, saying, because of you, I'm feeling this, this, and this, or you make me cause suffering. But if we really go inwards, there's usually something inside of ourselves that we're projecting on the other person. So to help us with this sense of expectation, I would say, is to observe our thoughts and our emotions, and to ask ourselves, where is it truly coming from? Is it maybe from my own insecurities or needs that I need to meet in myself? And is it truly fair to put all that expectation on the other person? So yoga really, the practice of yoga and meditation and going inwards can really help a lot in a practical, fundamental way in improving our relationships. And I've experienced this in my own life, especially coming from younger teenage years where everything is very intense and all the emotions is very intense, and then working on ourselves through the years and realize, oh, maybe it's not really the other person's fault. Maybe it's things inside myself that I can work on.
Perfect. So Marisa said that it turns the search, instead of finding problem in others, we start finding the issues with the self, and we come out of this victim perpetrator drama, that somebody is perpetrator and I am the victim, or other way around. So that's fine. If I do inquiry, self inquiry, probably I may know that the problem lies within, and I will start improving, and I may improve it also. As Swami, as Tejavaroji said, that once I know my true nature by maybe self-inquiry, fine, I am enlightened. But what about others? Buddha's wife really felt hurt. His son must have felt hurt. What about others who are living with me? Okay, fine, I am all of a sudden enlightened. But then others, I don't know, do they suffer? And am I not liable for their suffering?
That's beautiful. So, a layman life, a practitioner's life, it's completely different world. It's completely different world. So, first of all, a layman, a normal, a simple layman, they want to leave. They want to leave. A practitioner, they practice, they want to leave. It doesn't mean they want to have the death. They want to have the moksha, the mukti, the nirvana. They don't want to repeat again the cycle. So this is the big thing. The second thing is, like the Buddha, he understood from the layman, he's going to another process to the practitioner. So as a, like when you want to take the boat to another shore, so it's very hard for us to keep one leg in shore and one leg in the boat. So he has to make a decision. So he made the decision, he take the raft, take the boat. Of course, definitely the wife feels sad, and the children, once grow up, without father will be sad, and his father is sad, definitely. So, but we have to understand all the emotional effect. It doesn't mean happiness, sad, regret, everything's impermanent, because sad is just temporary. Every emotion, it has some ends. So once the Buddha achieved the enlightenment, of course he's in Anandamaya, he's in the higher state. He doesn't have pain, emotional things. But once he reached, so he guide people, he guide the family member reach the same state. So this is what the Buddha did. After he enlightened, he came back and he thought to his wife, and his wife is the first Buddhist nun in the world, in Buddhist literature.
Okay.
And then his son enlightened, and then his father passed away with peaceful heart. So Buddha did like a big contribution to the Sakya families. So this is, yeah.
Like you said, the objective is different whether you want to live or leave. And once you get enlightened, then through ripple effect, you create a beautiful environment around. That's amazing. So let me ask Akikoji. Akikoji, very practical tips for the audience who are watching us. What should they do which is immediately executionable? 2 do items to improve relationship, yogic way. I repeat, 2 do items. What should I do to improve relationship, any relationship, tomorrow onwards? Practical tips first.
Okay, immediately take a glass of water, one glass of water, drink. And um, when you find so the water is the element deeply related with your emotions. So like drinking a glass of water, it will help to calm you down. Yeah. And if I add like inhale deeply, hold the breath till you can't hold it. And when you really you couldn't live without exhalation, exhale. And maybe you remember the attitude of gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Dr. Shivaji, practical tips audience should start following tomorrow onwards. People who don't know Vedanta at all, people who have not heard yoga at all, people who are atheist, they don't believe in God itself, but still something that they can do from tomorrow onwards.
Atheists also believe in something.
Indeed.
It might not be God we see it as, but they believe, and they believe is strong, right? So sometimes they may be more spiritual than we think.
Indeed.
So 2 things to do. I think first is to know yourself.
Mhm.
And as Akikoji said, those breathing exercises, calm your mind, know yourself first. And then once you know yourself, then you will be a better person. So 2 things, yes.
Perfect. Uh, Tejavaroji, practical tips that people should execute tomorrow onwards for
Right.
everybody.
I would say now onwards, 5. The first thing Akikoji said very well, it's a Pancha Mahabhuta, Remember, like earth, water, fire, air, and space. So, earth, food, good food, right food, healthy food, the wholesome food. And when you have emotional problem, go for chocolate, and right away you will get a peace of mind. The second thing is water, right water, clean, hygiene water. Drink plenty of water. Water really makes you come down. And the third is exercise, because when we have emotional, is related to the fire. So go do something, release the energy, do jogging, exercise, yoga is best. And the fourth one is air, is we have to breathe clean, hygienic air, and to meditation, vipassana meditation, samatha meditation. We have a lot of meditation. Just breathe, inhale, deep exhale. It helps you very much. And go to the forest, wherever, silent place. The fifth is the best one, sleep. Sleep. So all this five will gives you emotionally balance right away. So I use this technique since I was young, but which one comes first? I will do that one first.
Thank you. Marisa ji, quick tips to improve on relationships or challenges of life, to deal with challenges of life, whatever you want to give.
I would definitely say breathe and go inwards. So just a simple, very practical technique what you can do anywhere is just to close your eyes, inhale for 4 counts. There's a slight natural pause, and then exhale for 4 counts. And this just helps to calm the nervous system. It helps you to go inwards. And then for figuring out what helps you to go inwards in general in life, of course, the breath and breathing, but for some it can be being in nature or doing something they love like art or a hobby. Whatever helps you to be truly focused and concentrated will help with that process of going inwards. And then, of course, all the 8 limbs of yoga, practicing yoga, the asanas, pranayama, turning inwards, meditation, concentration.
Perfect. Thank you. Now we are going to go for the last round, and that will be really rapid fire round. Just one sentence of power that really inspired in your life. Think of any sentence which really has inspired you in life. That sentence may be of your master, maybe from a scripture, maybe from your own meditation, maybe from your spiritual guide or astral guide, whatever. A sentence that has really inspired you in your life. So let's begin with Dr. Shiva, giving him least time to think about it.
The one thing the one thing comes to mind is Swami Chinmayananda's quote: "Do your best, leave the rest." So we do our best efforts, and whatever happens will happen.
Thank you very much. Now we'll go to Akikoji.
It's from someone's legislator magnet. Okay. Life is short, so eat dessert first.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, Tejavaroji.
My master used to say that when a person, there is no secrets in his life, happiness comes by itself.
Beautiful. Marisaji. Marisaji, am I audible? Seems we lost the connection with her. Maybe once she'll join, we'll give her opportunity. But till then, dear friends, we had our experts from different parts of the world, from Zanzibar, Japan, New Zealand, Taiwan, and me from India. We had this panel discussion on yoga and solving the challenges of life. Marisa ji said that discontent and identifying the purpose of life are the major challenges. And Akiko ji said identifying your true identity, relationship issues, money issues, issues connected with love are the major challenges. And how to deal with those challenges, Tejavaroji mentioned that one need to understand how to live and live peacefully both, and know your swabhava, your true nature. Shivaji said that the sources of distress have been same since the inception of civilization, and meditation over medication probably is the solution, what Vedanta and yoga says. And how to deal with that, Marisaji mentioned that identify your patterns of life, the chattering of life. For this Yoga Sutra is the complete scripture about to deal with the traumas, the memories of your subconscious, so that you can put it in the right perception, Vishesha Pashyana. And then when the perception is improvised, then you transform yourself, and then the expectations from others get reduced, and you come out of this victim perpetrator relationship with the world. And for that, we need to observe the thoughts and go to the root of the thoughts. What are my unmet needs, and what are the deficiencies in me that I need to improvise? Tejavaroji said that once you know your true nature, then automatically you leave attachment and acceptance increases. For that, we need to follow yamas and niyamas and pratyahara, and finally you can fix your mind on something higher, dharana and dhyana, and everybody is in the process of ... ing. We all are working on that, and the difference that it will cause is, right now our focus is pravatti, to live. Then the focus will be nivrati, to leave. And the decision everybody has to take today or tomorrow. And once you take decision, yes, it may hurt others, but once you are enlightened, you may come back, and with the ripple effect, enlighten others also, help self to help others. Shivaji said this change and decision comes by viveka, of understanding what is real and what is not real. Once that viveka is established, vairagya is an automatically outcome, and that raga goes down. And the sutra for good relationship is care without expectation, care without possession, do nishkam karma, know yourself and be calm. Then Akikoji mentioned that what are the practical tips that we can follow. Akikoji said, whenever you feel emotionally elevated, drink a glass of water, it will settle you down. Before you speak anything to any person, and if you feel you are emotionally charged, take a deep breath and hold it as much as possible. Once you hold the breath, even the mind gets hold. And third, remember the things you are grateful for. And then Teja Viroji gave us suggestions, quick tips, 5 elements. Whenever you feel emotionally charged, eat something. Even Sigmund Freud says when you eat and you chew, you feel settled down. And eat chocolates if you are feeling angry, he said. Then it is connected with earth element. For water, water calms you down. Exercise, it will take out your whole energy that is accumulated and making you emotionally charged. And then breathing, pranayama and breathing, air element, and sleep. Yuktahar viharasya. So sleep enough, wake up in time, and that will keep you emotionally balanced. Marisa ji mentioned that breathing is an important tool to control mind. Go inward, inhale 4, count 4, exhale, count 4. It may help you to activate parasympathetic nervous system and to keep you comfortable, and observe what works for you, and whatever works for you, repeat it again and again. That will create and follow 8 limbs of yoga. And regarding Dr. Shiva, he said, know yourself and be calm. Obviously, once you know yourself, you will automatically be calm. And thoughts of power, do your best and leave the rest. Life is short. Eat desserts first. And desserts are our gratitude list. So beautiful. And if you won't have any secrets, your life will be filled with happiness. So blessed to listen from you. We express your gratitude to Marisa ji also, who is not here right now. All dear respected guests, thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you. Namaste.